Hi everyone, welcome to the Web Marketing for Farmers Market Sales course. Thank you for joining me. It's been great to see the interest in this content and this topic. We have almost 2,000 people registered for the course, and that's really exciting. I think especially because we have this online community where you're going to be able to discuss with other farm marketers, and so there's going to be a ton of expertise there. And you know, I have, I think, some of the answers, but I don't have all the answers, and certainly what has worked in other communities will also work in your community. So I hope especially that online forum can be something that you take with you during this course and then going forward. And it's a bit of an experimental format, so I hope you give me some feedback as we go along. I first want to talk about the title of this course. It's Web Marketing for Farmers Market Sales, and that's important to me because we don't do web marketing just because it's fun. Now, I do hope it is fun for you, and some of you are probably already having fun, some of you think it's drudgery, and I hope to convince you that it can be fun. But we don't do it because it's fun. We do it because it results in sales at the farmer's market, in sales for your stand, and in traffic to your market. And so I'm going to encourage you to go beyond the Facebook like, and how do we get this Facebook like? But then how do we get them to come down to the market? And that leads into the next point, is that I think it's a little bit of a fallacy to think about that there's any difference between web marketing and traditional marketing. This course is going to be a lot about how to generate interest online using social media, using search engines, using your website, how to generate that interest. But then there's a big gulf in that interest from having them be interested in you online, but then getting them down to the market. So there's a big gulf there, and I hope to help you close it with some tactics. And so first, a little bit of bad news about the farmers market business model. I say a little tongue-in-cheek that farmers markets are a bad business model, and you know, I say that tongue-in-cheek because there are 9,000 farmers markets in the U.S. according to the USDA. So it's obviously something that has really worked. But it's really a difficult model for customers and probably for vendors too. But from the customer side, it's only open for say 3 or 4 hours a week, maybe 20-25 weeks a year, so people can just never get in the rhythm of coming. And then at the end of the season, they're thrown back to the grocery store or wherever else they shop, and then we expect them to come back in the spring. And so that's tough. That's tough. And also, it's just an extra trip. They're not going to be able to buy everything they need at the farmer's market, so they're going to have to still go to the grocery store. And in our busy modern lives, that's difficult to take an extra trip out between raising kids and having jobs where we're working lots of hours and driving somewhere else. That's a big deal, and that's one reason I say that we need to be more thankful for our customers for coming down to the market, for buying things from our farm. And I always say that gratitude is free. And so it's easy to send an email out to your customers and say, thank you. Thank you for buying from us. This is so important to us. This is so important to our community. And so that's one thing you can do. And then, again, with the headwinds that you face, is that there are more options than ever out there in the marketplace. Over the last 10 years or so, the options have really increased that customers have to buy their local food, from some things like Whole Foods, which is very obvious, but also online farmers markets, online distribution, food hubs, and even just the conventional grocery stores are going to keep getting better because eaters are demanding these things. And I think this is just something that's going to continue to accelerate. So we need to keep telling our story better, and why farmers markets and why buying direct from the farm is such an important thing for our communities and for our businesses. And so, yeah, so how do you combat some of these headwinds? It's with marketing. And I think one of the difficult things about marketing is it doesn't seem like a good investment of your time, right? It seems like it doesn't seem as productive as, you know, laying an irrigation pipe or doing the work that is needed to actually grow the food. But it is so important to tell your story, to get people down, because if you're direct marketing to consumers, if they're not there to buy it, then, you know, you've sort of wasted your time in the end. I have a little bit of a joke line, which is that a farm without marketing is just a big compost pile, and you could probably say the same thing about a farmer's market. And so marketing is just absolutely essential to make sure that the whole thing works. And then the internet provides just really strong tools to multiply the effort that you have. So, one Facebook post, if you have 1,000 likes, it'll go out to, well, not 1,000 people, which we'll learn later, but maybe 100 or 200 people or more. And so there's some strong tools to multiply effort, and you can also create systems within your marketing that will support you during your busy season. I know, we can get into things in the winter time or the off season, and then not be able to pull through in the busy times. But what I'm going to encourage you to do is how to set up systems that will support you during those busy times and support you through the years. And I really think the time is right for this. Obviously, we have about 2,000 people registered for the course, so that's really exciting. So obviously this course material is interesting to you, but there's also been some talk of peak farmers market in the media, and so that's really interesting. And that's really a talk going back to all these different outlets that people have. But I don't think the interest of consumers and eaters, that hasn't waned in local food and farmers markets. They want us to be successful. It's just maybe hard for them to support us. And so they want vibrant markets in their communities, and that's why we have so many farmers markets across the country and across the world. And yeah, so I have an emphasis on systems, which I've already talked a little bit about. And this is a conversation, and so I've worked with about 1,000 farms through my business, Small Farm Central, so I have a good idea of what's going on in the landscape as far as marketing and also marketing my own business, so I think I have a lot of knowledge to impart to you. But there's also the discussion group, and I think you're going to learn from that, and going over time past the 6 weeks, I hope you use that to gather ideas, and that's probably in the long term going to be what's more valuable to me, more valuable to you than even what I say. And I want your feedback, and so what's working, what's not working, we can adjust as we go along. So please give me your feedback. I'd love to hear what's going on in your neck of the woods. And then, so the first thing, this first lesson this week, we'll be talking about the perfect farmers market customer, how to figure out who they are, how to create a persona, and then I also have a discussion point for you. So welcome to the course. I'm so excited to have you, and let's do this.